Because eating disorders has affected the whole of my life.
Definitely, I can look back at times in my life where I was using food to substitute healthy relationships in my life.
I don't know if anyone is immune to the expectations of, body image and all of that kind of stuff. That it's not just people that have, an experience of an eating disorder that struggle with that.
It's less about the size that you are or what you're eating, and more about how that then makes you feel, or how you then feel you're being judged or accepted.
I mean, I feel I lost 10 years of my life. No one else would have seen me losing 10 years of my life. I did 2 degrees, had a decent job, looked like I was just doing great.
I've been through this. I've been through horrible times. I've not thought about myself as a good or valuable person, and I've been there. I think it's what makes us valuable as people, as therapists, as healers.
For me, to be a counsellor working with people with eating disorders is giving them the opportunity to find themselves.
But inside, my obsession with food, eating or not eating, my very disordered relationship with food was overwhelming, all-consuming.
It's such a primal thing. Our relationship with food, it's so primal. It's baseline. We need it.
Yeah, I think that kind of every day, X amount of times a day, having to just be faced, and even everywhere you go, I remember walking into an airport and a shop just kind of having the words eat out front, and then there's just food and there's adverts and just cookbooks, and it's all around you, and people asking you out for dinner, and it's this kind of horrible kind of whirlpool going on in your head of just like,
Things are definitely changing with eating disorders, and I think the time is now for Sweda.
When I walked into Sweda for the first time 24 years ago, I can remember being quite shocked at how friendly and open and welcoming and natural everybody was.
But I think that people come here because they feel that they're part of a family, and they feel valued, and they feel that they're giving something worthwhile. And and I think that's what people need in life.
But I'm constantly struck by how deep that actually runs, and how supportive this place is. And I don't think that's something that it's something that is maybe that common. I think it's something that's quite unique.
There's a movement happening, and if Sweda isn't a service that helps people with eating disorders, it's also part of a cultural movement around identity, around body image, around our relationship with food.
And it's that journey of learning to love yourself and appreciate yourself, and that it's okay to be fallible, and it's okay to need people.
And we look at the individual and we work with the individual, rather than putting them into a box and saying, this is how we're going to do this. Even if you are a round peg, we're going to still squeeze you into that square hole. It doesn't work.
And I think the ultimate goal is to be able to say, I'm a recovered bulimic. But knowing my relapses from the past, and knowing my sort of this 10-year-long journey, I think that I have to be realistic in that. As much as I'd love to be able to say I'm a recovered bulimic, I probably would consider myself to still be in recovery, and will be for another year or two, I think.
Counselling just seems to draw all of this stuff together, and then it can, if you let it, help you shape your life into something that's a little bit more meaningful. Again, personally and professionally, it's a really valuable thing that I feel that I'm part of, and I'm grateful for it.
It's difficult, my body is my body, and I'm proud that it's my body. And don't get me wrong, there are days when I look in the mirror and think, oh, I wish I could just shave a bit off my thigh or do this or do that. But actually, at the end of the day, it's my body, and I want to look after my body, and I want it to work for as long as it possibly can for me and my kids. I want to be around for a long time with my body.
and that once you've come to terms with that, then the food isn't quite so important anymore.
I think it goes further than Sweda. I think the voluntary sector definitely fulfil a gap.
It seems to be that almost no matter what mental health issues somebody's suffering from, support and community are such a crucial part of developing a mental well-being that might otherwise be absent.
So in partnership with the NHS, what they've done is they've funded us to run a weekly support group where we can support those people as they step down from NHS services. And I think that's really important to stop that cycle of people leaving NHS services, going through one door and then not feeling supported again and then coming back through.
And that's what I've always loved about Sweda, is it's about valuing the uniqueness of the individual and what they need to help them on their journey.
Somebody going through what could possibly be the most difficult thing they've ever done, the ability to feel that the relationship that you're having with somebody who's supporting you, whether it's a counsellor or a family member or a friend, to really know that that relationship is real, that the care is coming from a place that is genuine and human, is crucial, if not vital, to the process of recovery.
I also think there's something about us being open-ended. There's no deadlines, there's no kind of rules about how we engage with our service users. We will work with them to make it work for them.
When you're supporting someone in getting through an eating disorder and trying to work through all of that stuff, it's about learning how to live without it. And I don't think that we can do that in a few hours, and I don't think that we can do that by sticking to one framework. It needs to be something that is flexible.
There was a point in my life that I thought that I'd have to get jobs that were completely separate from food, or I just basically had to make changes in my life that meant that I couldn't be around food wherever possible. And now I kind of, I make cakes and dinners and this and the other for a living. So not very pleasant, I don't think, my life would be if I didn't have Sweda.
But actually hearing it from somebody who we've helped, how we've helped them and how we've transformed their lives is really powerful. And that is what drives the funding.
If Sweda disappeared tomorrow, probably not a lot would happen in the first few months. And then I think it would hit the fan. So then I think that's when you'd get more and more people presenting themselves to GP surgeries and the CAM service, the eating disorder service, would just get chock-a-block full of people who are in crisis. And I think that's what Sweda does. It stops people hopefully going into crisis and needing that support. And I think that's when you'll get a problem, and I think people will die.